It is the turn of the user model to be implemented relating with his attributes. By default, Laravel has the user model included in its structure, but we need to add some additional attributes, and in fact we need to add some constants and methods to deal with some of those. So let's go to our user model. We have that already. The user has a name, an email, and a password. And there is a new kind of attribute called hidden. Basically, the hidden attribute are the attributes that we don't want to be included when we are transforming an instance in an array. So, for example, when we are going to return a JSON response, Laravel automatically transforms the instance in an array and then transforms that array into the JSON response. It means that if we want to hide any specific attribute from a JSON response, we probably want to add this in this array. Every attribute that we add in the hidden array is not going to be visible in the final JSON response. So we have that the password and the remember token are hidden, and of course we are going to add any new attributes and a new hidden attribute right now. Additionally, of a password, a user has a verified field to know if that user is verified or not, a verification token in order to perform that verification of the user email, and an admin attribute to know if that user is an admin or not. Finally, in the hidden, we have a password, the remember token, and the verification token should be there as well. We really don't want that anyone else, an administrator or something else, had access to the verification token. We just want to provide access to the verification token through the email of the user and in any other way. So now we need to deal with the verified and admin attributes. Again, as in the product model, the verified attribute will have only two possible values, and the same for admin. A user is verified or not, and the user is admin or is a regular user. We are going to add two methods to know if a user is verified or if a user is admin, and other method to generate the verification token directly from the model. So let's go to create the constants. So we have that if a user is verified, this value is going to be 1. In other cases, it's going to be 0. Maybe you are asking why those are strings instead of numbers directly. Well, this is basically because we are going to compare those values in the future, and it's going to be a little tricky if those keep being numbers instead of strings. We are going to go deeper in these scenarios later in a future class, but believe me, that is a good idea to keep it as strings and not directly as booleans or numbers. So let's create now the methods to return if a user is an admin or is verified. And similarly to know if he's an admin. And finally, but not less important, we need to create a static method to generate a verification code. This is a static method because basically we don't need a specific attribute or value directly for an instance of user. We just need to provide an easy way to obtain a verification code or generate a verification code directly from the model. And additionally, it is very important to use a long value here in order to avoid that in some case someone tried to obtain the verification code using some kind of brutal force or something like that. It is recommended to use values upper than 24 to whatever other number that you prefer, but not less of that. So we are already done here. We have basically the most complete model of our RESTful API. Let's to implement the relationships between those models in the next class.